Okay, welcome back guys. So in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to start creating a Splat game, and it's going to involve creating our own backdrop and inserting two sprites of our choice as well. And hopefully, if we get the coding right, it will look something like this. Okay, so let's get started with creating our own Splat game. Okay, so when you're logged on to your Scratch account, go on to create at the top, because we're creating a whole new project, and you'll be brought to a page which looks something like this. Now, the first thing we need to do is to create our backdrop. So you need to go over here, because at the moment we're clicked on sprite. So go over here where it says backdrop, and then go across to be able to actually create the backdrop. Now then, first of all, you need to consider what kind of backdrop you want. You can either draw your own backdrop, or you can choose a backdrop from the library of backdrops already available. So I'm going to have a look for a backdrop, and I'm going to go for the colourful city. And hopefully it will load up where our colourful city suddenly appears. Okay, now then, once you have inserted your backdrop, you need to put in your other sprite, because you've got one sprite here already, but you need to put another sprite in, which this cat is going to try and avoid and not get splatted by. So go to the bottom, click the magnifying glass, and you could choose pretty much any kind of sprite you want from this you think would be appropriate to kind of splat your cat as it is. I'm probably going to choose a ball, I think. And at the moment, you can see now that this ball here is a very similar color to the backdrop here. And it's very important that you choose a sprite that's not a similar color to the backdrop. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to go back on here, and I'm going to choose something a little bit different. I'm going to choose maybe the baseball. And as you can see, it's a little bit more visible. So we've got our sprites there. Now then, what we need to do now is we need to put some coding in for this sprite here so that it moves across the page, and so that when it touches the sprite here, it causes a consequence of some kind. So what we need to do is we need to go across to events, choose when clicked, then go down to the bottom here on control, choose repeat, and pull it over like that. Now I'm going to choose go to X, which is the blue ones, find go to X, but make sure that your sprite is in the position that you want it to start in at the beginning of your game. So I want it to start over here before you click this. Now then, once you're happy where it is, click this, bring it over, and put it above there, like that. Then, go back down to the control options, and choose the one that says repeat until. So the repeat until, which is this one over here. Pull it, and put it underneath, like that. Now then, you need to go down to the green ones at the bottom, the operators, and choose the OR one. So OR, click it, drag, and put it in that shape there, like that. Now then, once you've done that, you need to go over here to the sensing and choose touching, and then it'll say mouse pointer for you guys. So you pull over, put it into the first box there, so it goes in like that. Now at the moment it says mouse pointer. We want to change it to what this is called over here. Okay, so if we change this to sprite 1, because that's what it's going to touch, so click there, sprite 1. Once you've done that, then pull this color over here and put it in the box there like that. Now then, you want at the moment a color so that when it hits a certain color, it's going to go back. And at the moment, there's no color for it to go back. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go back onto your backdrop, And you're going to create a wall so that when the ball hits the wall, it goes back to the start. So to do that, when you click backdrop, go to here. Then, at the moment, it's all looking like that. Quick convert to that one there. And then choose this option here. Now, it's going to be very thin, the line, so I want it to be really thick. I'm going to change it to 50. And then you can draw your wall. Your wall can be any color you like. Pull that out a little bit so it's a bit more clearer. And there we have it. We have our wall for our backdrop so that when it hits the wall, it knows to go back to the start. So go back now to your baseball or whatever other sprite you chose there. Okay, go to code. And then change this color. Click there. Then click over here and choose the color for your wall like that. Now then, next, go to move, pull it over there, and then change this to -10. So you choose it to go in the right direction from right to left. If you want it to go from left to right, then you'd keep it as 10. Okay. And then finally, go to X and pull that one down there like that. It should have the same coordinates as the one up here. And so, hopefully, when we do it, it will go through like that. Now, as you can see at the moment, it's moving from right to left. When it's touching the sprite, it is going back to this one here, okay? So, if we moved it up and then test it going across, so if we go like that, there you go. It's also going back when it touches the wall as well. So get used to checking your code as you go along so you know that it's working before you move on. Now then, next what we need to do, oh, by the way as well, before I forget, this one here repeats. This will be the amount of times that it goes across the backdrop. So this depends how long you want the game to last for. You can either have it for 3 times so that when you do it, it goes 1, 2, 3. Or if you want it to go for longer, like 20, then it will go across 20 times. So that depends on you guys and how long you want your game to last for. Okay. Now then, we need to do some coding for our sprite so that if the baseball here does touch the sprite, does touch the cat, something happens. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to events. When clicked, now make sure you choose where you want your sprite to be at the start. So I want it to be there. And I'm going to go to motion, go to X, make sure it's exactly where you want it to be before you choose this. Pull it over. Then find the one that says forever, forever. And pull it there like that. Now then, you need the one that says if, then, else. If, then, else. So pull that one and put it in between the forever there. Now, you need to go down to the operators, the green ones, and choose not. Click on that. Pull over like that. Once you've done that, go back to the sensors one. Pull this one, touching mouse pointer. And then what you need to do is you need to choose the baseball because that's what is the sprite that you want it to kind of realize it's hitting. So click that if it's called baseball. If it's called something else, then you need to choose that one, of course. Okay. Then we go down to the sound or go up to the sounds. Okay. And start sound. Pull it over. Now, it says at the moment there, oh no, sorry, before we do that one, we need to go to the top one here, my apologies, and you need to go to say hello and pull that one there, so that if the baseball touches your sprite, your cat is going to say something, or your sprite is going to say something. So I'm just going to say, so this message will come up if not touching the baseball. So whenever the baseball is not touching the sprite, your sprite will say, can't hit me. Okay. Now then, now we go back to the sounds. choose start sound meow and put it underneath there like that. Now, at the moment, you've got meow, or what you can do is go to sounds over here, and you can click on there, and you can choose another sound if you wish, okay? For now, I'm going to stick with the meow because I've got a cat as a sprite. Then, go to say hello for 2 seconds, pull that over, put it underneath like that, and then this is going to be now, if not touch and say can't hit me, but if it does touch, then it says start sound meow, and it's going to say, oh no, okay, oh no, for just the 1 second for me. You can make it longer if you wish. And then hopefully now, if we've done it correctly, when we press this green button, if it's not touching, the sprite will show a message saying can't hear me. But if it does touch, then the sprite will say meow and oh no for 1 second. So let's have a look. And there we go. So we've managed to have the coding for our baseball so that it moves across the screen, and we got the coding for our sprite here so that he says something when it touches him, and he says something when the baseball's not touching him. Now, obviously at the moment it's not much of a splat game because the cat is getting splatted every single time. We need to create it into a game where we have a chance to win. So we need to create an opportunity for the cat to be able to jump above the baseball when it's coming towards it. So, in order to do this, just go to events. When space key pressed, pull that over. You can have the space key, you can choose the up arrow if you wish, or any of these options, okay? Then go to motion, go to change Y by, and pull that over, put it underneath, and change the number to 100. Then go to the control ones and put wait, and I'm going to put not quite a second, 0.75 seconds. Then I'm going to go back to motion, and I'm going to click change Y by again, but this time I'm going to change it to minus 100, so it comes back down again. And so hopefully now when we play this game and when we press the space button, the cat will jump above the baseball if we touch the space button in time. So let's have a look. And there we go. And obviously enough, then it'll make the noise. Okay, so there we have it. You have created your first simple Splat game. So tune in for next time where we'll be going over some more features for our Splat game. See you next time, guys.